Thank you so much for making time once again with Initiative Smart Class. Today too, we have come to your various homes with another interesting question under statistics. Today we want to look at how to find the mean of a set of numbers. We want to look at how to find the mean of a set of numbers. When we want to find the mean of a set of numbers, it means we want to find a number, just one number, that can represent all the given numbers. We need a single number to represent all the given numbers. The student should be able to identify which formula to use at any point in time. And it is the nature of the question that will determine the formula to be used. It is the nature of the question that will determine the formula to be used. For instance, with this particular question, find the mean of the following numbers. When the observations in the list of numbers, or when the observation in the data set given repeats themselves, when the observation repeats themselves, there is a formula that is used to find the mean. But when the observations are not repetitive, there is a formula that is also used to find the mean of the set of numbers that is given. What I mean by repetitive and non-repetitive is this. If you are given 2, 4, 6, 8, to find the mean of these numbers, the question clearly indicates that 2 is not repeating itself, 4 is not repeating itself, 6 is not repeating itself, and 8 also is not repeating itself. When the question appears in a fashion like this, there is a formula that we use to find the mean of this particular data set. In instances where the observations repeat themselves, for instance, 2, 2, 4, 4, 6, 6, 8, 8, 8. It is clear from the data given here that the 2 here is repeating itself, the 4 is repeating itself, and the 6 is also repeating itself. The meaning is that each observation occurs with its own frequencies. And what we mean by the frequencies is the number of times an item appears in a data set. So clearly 8 appears 3 times, 6 appears 2 times, 4 appears 2 times, and 2 also appears 2 times. In this case, it has its own formula, and then in this case, it has its own formula. And we advise the student to stick to the formula that will help him or her to solve the question easily. The issue here is that both formulas can be used to solve the questions. Both formulas can be used to solve the questions, but it's advisable to use the formulas based on the nature of the question given. to avoid complexities. Now, let's look at the nature of our question. Clearly, you can see that the observations here are not repeating themselves. As in, we have only 111, we have only 112, we have only 113, 114, and then 115. So in this case, if you have to find the mean of the following numbers, it means we have a set of numbers that are not repetitive. The observations are not repeating themselves. In that case, if you want to find the mean, we use the formula x bar is equal to the sum of all the xi's all over n, where I takes values from 1 up to n. Now, where the xi is the observations, xi is the observations, and n is the number of observations. N is the number of observations. N is the number of observations. This is an observation. 12 is also an observation. 13 is also an observation. 14 is also an observation. And 15 is also an observation. But the n here represents the number of observations. The number of observations in the data set. And we need to understand the I component here. The sub I here. We are saying the I here takes values from 1 up to n. And n is the number of observations in the data set. Clearly, from the question, n is equal to 5. N is equal to 5. That means the x bar here, that is the mean, which is sum of xi all out of n, or the I in this particular question will take values from I will be equal to 1 up to 5, because the number of observations is 5. If I is taking values from 1 up to 5, normally students have been calling this symbol sigma. The sigma here has a meaning. The meaning of this sigma is the sum of all the xi's. So what do we mean by the sum of all the xi's? X bar will be equal to sum all the xi. I takes values from 1 up to 5. So it means we'll sum x1, and then x1 plus x2 plus x sub 5, plus x sub 3 plus x sub 4 plus x sub 5, all out of n. All out of n. So x bar will be equal to x1, x2, x3, x4, x5. That is the meaning of I taking values from 1 up to 5. So x bar is equal to x1 plus x2 plus x3 plus x4 plus x5, all out of n. Like I said, the xi is the observations. So in place of I, when you put 1, that will give you x1. In place of I, since I is taking values from 1 up to 5, it means x2, when you put I equals 2, you get x2. When you put I equals 3, you get x3. When you put I equals 4, you get x4. And when you put I equals 5, you get x5. Meaning the 5 has exhausted all the observations in the data set. Okay, if that is the case, then our x bar then will be equal to, what is our x1, what is our x2, what is our x3, x4, x5? These ones are representing the observations in the given question. In this case, we can say our 11 is x1, 12 will be x2, x3, x4, x5, because the number of observations is n is equal to 5. So wherever you see these values, you substitute 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 in there. And that will give us 11 plus 12 plus 13 plus 14 plus 15. x1 plus x2 plus x3 plus x4 plus x5. All out of 5. Because our n here is equal to 5. Our n here is equal to 5. By summing all the values here together, we'll be getting 65. 65. And 65 divided by 15 is equal to 13. 65 divided by 5 is equal to 13. And that is the mean of the following numbers is 13. The mean of the following numbers is 13. That means 13 is central to all the values in the data set. The 13 is central to all the values in the data set. That is why we call the mean one of the measures of central tendency. We need only one value to represent the whole data set. So that is a simple way of finding the mean. Simple way of finding the mean. We use the formula, the sum of all the xi, all out of n. When the numbers are not repetitive, when the numbers are not repeating themselves, this is the simple formula you use to find the mean of the data set. The next time we come your way, we'll show you how to find the mean when the numbers repeat themselves. We'll show you how to find the mean when the numbers repeat themselves. So for now, when you encounter any question and the data set, the elements in the data set are not repetitive, it is better you stick to this formula. It is better you stick to this formula. Again, when the number of elements or the observations in the data set are not many, that is, if they are small and you see one or two observations repeating themselves, you can equally go by this formula. But like I said, we'll come your way the next time with another example where the observations are repeating themselves. Thank you so much for making time with Initiative Smart Class. Stick to the formula, and I have the ability to identify which of the formulas to use at any point in time. Like, share, and follow, because we will certainly come your way with another question with a different formula and how to solve questions on the mean of a given data. God richly bless you for making time with us. Let me continue to use this opportunity to tell our viewers about what is going on, the online classes that is going on. Every month we conduct intensive math classes for our students. You may want to ask questions, but this is just a video, and there is no way that you can get opportunity to ask me questions as I'm solving the question. But we have created another Telegram page where we conduct 1 month intensive classes. We use applications that enables you to reach me in a video form, and when I write like I'm writing on the board, you also see it on your phone. It is a form of social intervention, and so we only take 5 CDs from whoever wants to be part of the online class. If you want to reach us, the numbers are there. Kindly go there and then send me a WhatsApp message, and then I will direct you on what to do to be part of the Telegram page. One interesting thing is that if you are also in the comfort of your home doing your own studies and you are stuck somewhere in solving a question, there are math teachers on the page who can equally assist you in solving your questions. All you need to do is to take a snapshot of the question that you are having challenges with, and then you put it on the Telegram page for us to assist you. Once again, God bless you and have a nice time. Thank you. Bye-bye.